I'm Dr. Paul Algo, and thanks for joining me on another morning watchlist building session. And guess what? Today is Thursday, January 27th, 2022, and the market got rocked yesterday. Yes, it did. Oh, Pow Pow came out and did some things, said some things, and of course, moved the market just like we thought we were going to. I actually expected a little bit more of a rebound. However, we didn't get it, and it is what it is. So we just have to play what we got and go from there. So let me get one more thing loaded up here, and we will look at the plays for the day, shall we? Hope everybody had a good night. A little stressed out about a couple minor things. Hopefully we can get those worked out today. And look at that move. Wow, crazy. LVS from the watch list, just doing its thing like it's supposed to. Microsoft, on the other hand, being a POS. Okay, big exciting news. Tesla did have earnings today, so we have to get through that. And I think we're going to do today's Thursday, so let's do the predicted trades sponsored trade of the day. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit me up in the comments section below. And if you're new to joining the stream, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Take a second, hit that like button, subscribe, go ahead and turn on those notifications so you get notified anytime we put out videos. And yes, I know we have talked about putting out videos, but we've done a very bad job on that. That's going to change. Wow. 356 to 338 on the Qs. That's incredible. That's what this move looks like. And when I say incredible, I mean incredible. I was here. I was so close to being in profit. And then I dropped it, brought it back up, and they're grinding it down again. 30 minutes, still continuous downtrend. Super choppa, fragilistic, XP choppy, chop, chop. Okay. All right. Morning. I believe everything's going good. We have that's online. Yay. All right. We are there. All right. Well, we will get into it in a second. There's just so many earnings reports to get through. I'm gonna cherry pick these. So if you don't see the one that you wanted, let me know and I will bring it up. Morning, Johnny. Morning. All right. Excellent. X Q3 or third quarter adjusted EPS at 1.29 versus 0.95. Revenues 1.01 billion versus 956 million. But more importantly, on intraday, they got above the 200. We're going to start seeing a lot more stocks starting to raise above the 200. So with this one, 30-minute chart, daily bottom, monthly mid. What is this? Daily bottom, monthly mid. Yeah, monthly mid. So off of the 4-hour mid, 4-hour top incoming. So 194, 195 on the break of, and pretty much where it's at. Above 185 hits 195 on XLNX. It's a pretty decent one to play. ServiceNow, right? ServiceNow with earnings, fourth quarter earnings. Here we go. EPS of 1.46 versus 1.43. Revs 1.6 versus estimate 1.6. Subscription revenue up 0.29%. It's pretty decent. I'm gonna look at this on the 4-hour chart. A 4-hour chart. There we go. So they do have a little bit of fight ahead of them, and especially if they're trying to get movement in this market. Might give it a couple more days. Someone's blowing me up. Who is it? Where did all of that information come from? I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me see what's going on over here. Not seeing it. So also, morning labs. Yeah, Tesla. Oh, Tesseract. I mean, Tesla did what? Did Tesla have earnings? Oh, I can't tell. Iron fly on this sucker was the way to go, baby. That's crazy. 80. That's 100 point 100-point difference right there. That's 7. Let's go 9. So 980 to 880. 100 points on Tesla. That's Amazon moves like that. So, but what I do want to show you over here on the left. Oh, what did I do there? I wanted to show you over here on the left was my little crazy drawing where I was like, oh, it's going to do one of two things. Well, it didn't do the upside, it did the down, right? Up, down, down, down. So with that being said, there's a bunch to get through. I mean, Netflix has some news that came out. Netflix news, they're up after Bill Ackman told investors that his hedge fund, Pershing Square Capital Management, started buying shares on Friday and now owns more than 3.1 million shares of Netflix, making Pershing Square a top 20 holder. Yeah, it did. Yeah, look at that. I mean, Netflix at this level, this double red right here means that every moving average is stacked on top of it. Other than that, we've got a bull flag forming on the intraday. Right. Pretty decent looking setup there. It's got some overhead resistance that it may get through today. If it rejects that, then it's coming back down to that 350 level. But it's 375 down to 350. It could definitely happen. But it's squeezing. Big old bull flag right there. Boom. Perfect bull flag, right? From a Kelt perspective, monthly mid 394 or week 4-hour mid 394, that would be a reversion to the 21 EMA. Also slingshot squeeze finally curling over and potentially ready and firing off to the upside. If we can start getting this green and yellow to be more green on the intraday, that'll turn this to yellow and green finally, and we get that move. So it broke out of that trend line. It's got this one here. It's also got a big old bear flag on the 4-hour. So just got to be careful. Netflix. It's got the most upward potential and probably been at support the longest. All of that is going to depend on what happens today in the markets. Seriously. Just keeping an eye on QQQ, 338 to 345 pre-market. It's pretty decent. All right, other news. LRCX, Lam Research. LRCX. Q2 EPS at 853 versus 851. Revenues at 4.23 versus 4.41 billion. So they missed on revenues. Sees gross margin at 45%. But yeah, that's pretty horrible news right there. They did wick down with so when everything dropped yesterday, I think we hit some key levels that we needed to hit. So monthly mid, weekly bottom on LRCX. Slingshot squeeze failed to release. Actually, is releasing to the downside. If the intraday can fight back above the 34, basically if it can get out of the 15 top, right? So LRCX above 600. Hold on. I think we see the move to 600, which is the 4-hour mid daily bottom, into the daily cloud. Then we fight against the 200. But we really want to see what happens when we retrace to this 21 EMA. So 600, 610 on LRCX before it makes a decision, right? We thought we were going to get the woo. We got the failed woo, right? Which makes sense, right? So we got the failed woo on that. Squeeze is fired off to the downside. If intraday can get its moving averages aligned out again, LRCX might be fun for trading the next couple days. Crown Castle, CCI. Fourth quarter. Ooh, that's rough. 1.77 versus 1.7 guides, forward year 22. AFO share 7.31 to 7.41 versus 7.34. Sees 2022 AFFO lower than estimates. Revenues a little bit higher, and site rental revenues 1.47. Yeah, it just couldn't recover. Could not recover from the downtrend of the week. I don't know if I like the 15 there. Maybe the 5. That's probably better. CCI, where's it going to go? Where's it going to stop? It's got weekly bottom end coming at 170, 171. That's the next stop for this. Pullback, monthly bid, back test on the 4-hour bottom. If it can't retake the 4-hour Keltner channel, it comes back down to the weekly bottom and starts the cycle over again. Okay, that's CCI. Xilinx XL and X. The shares are up after China's State Administration for Market Regulation said it would conditionally approve AMD. Oh, Stuzy. Here we go. XLNX and AMD in its $35 billion all-stock deal for them on a condition AMD and Xilinx do not force tie-in sales of products or discriminate against customers that buy one set of products but not another. AMD with some positive news. With the positive news and some slingshot squeezes. Let's look at playing AMD today, shall we? Held the 200 on the 4-hour. Has earnings coming up next week. Off the 4-hour bottom. Kiss the 4-hour mid. Test of the 21. Going to get another test of the 21 here. If it can start recovering. I mean, let's look at this. What kind of a pattern do we got going on here? We got one of these. Down, up, down, up, down, up. It's not one of those. Down. Right. Retest. Failure. Retest. Big O Doge. I like this gnarly V right here. 105. Oh, imagine buying it at 105. Be like, I hit the bottom. I like AMD long today. Intel. INTC. Q4 earnings 113 versus 80 on revenue. Up $1 billion in additional revenue. Gross margin 53%. Guides 1 quarter revenue at 18.3 versus 17.6 billion. Adjusted EPS at 80 cents. Earnings per share at 80 cents versus 86. They raised their quarterly dividend 5% to 146 a share. What? On an annual basis. Okay. That makes sense. That was like a $50 stock gives you $1.50 per quarter, $5 per year. Man, that drip campaign, you're doing pretty good. So, what do we got here? We got, get rid of that sucker. All right, we failed the 50, failed the 200, negatively stacked moving averages all around the board. Not the best of earnings, but it's kind of wedging. I would not be interested in until it can prove to me it can get back above 52.63, which would be, well, let's see. Yeah, I would need it to get back above the 21 and the 34, retake the 4-hour weekly mid, preferably the monthly mid, and even safer would be back above the 200 on the 4-hour. Okay. In healthcare, you want to see something that makes me sick? That. If you were with me on the stream on Tuesday, I took the 170, 180 Moderna vertical, and it's just killing it in that account. See how steep this 5200 decline is? It means it's rushing to catch up to price action. So today should be the day with Moderna that we have a winner of the 5200 fight, which is also would be the 21 EMA on The 4 hour, probably the 13 on the daily. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to determine if this is a true recovery, slingshot squeeze, getting ready to happen. If you want to trade Moderna, you might want to wait till it starts doing the daily bottom, daily mid, daily top thing again, instead of doing 4 hour bottom, 4 hour mid, 4 hour top rejection, right? Rejects us 21 again. We do have negatively stacked moving averages across the board. Starting to get a little life built back into it, but I really want to see what happens. The outcome of this 5200 cross or interaction with price action. That should occur probably at the bell. We'll try to get above the 30 hour. So we take out pre-market HOD, right, above 162. And we can confirm that we're owning this 5200 on the 5 minute. Check it out on the 15, right? It's all coming to a head, right? Does that make sense to you? Y'all understand what I'm saying? The directional SMA, which is the 50 and the 200 versus price action, they're about to have a fight today. If price continues to reject this on the lower time frames, as we get up to the upper time frames, right, like it did here, like rejection, if it continues to reject that, then guess what? It's like Groundhog Day, right? We've got more time. Let's look back in history. Last time we fought the 250 combo, we lost, and we've been downtrending ever since. This is round 2, going into a rising wedge. A little bit of squeezes, but pretty much negatively stacked, pretty heavy across the board, especially with the market and healthcare and it not getting any love from any news articles. It's trying. Like this, I hope everybody's. Oh, dude, sorry, that was really loud. Squeezing like you squeeze a pimple, it's gonna pop out one side or the other. Okay. If Moderna can overtake the 5200, I'd look at trading it again. All right, enough of Moderna. VRTX, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, 336 EPS. All right, this is what I like to see here. Look at this, right? Positively stacked moving averages in the fight of its life, right? Trying to overtake the directional SMAs, swing shot squeezes, getting ready to release all over the place, right? Big old wedge, right? So with this sucker, really it just needs to take out. It needs to close, right? It needs to close above. Oh, geez, is it going to chop its way up to the daily top? Maybe. Let's check on Vertex next week after some of the volatility dies out. In financials, Ameriprise, Lending Club, and Raymond James Financial. So Raymond James Financial, RJF, came out. They're raising their quarterly dividend up 31% to 34 cents per quarter. Q1 EPS $2.12 versus revenue at 2.74 billion versus estimates at 1.76 and 2.64. Well positioned entering Q2 quarter in private client group under assets under management up to 1.2 trillion, up 23% over December of 2020. Why have I not heard of this stock? There's gonna be a sector leader, and I'm trying to be patient to figure out what it's gonna be. I've heard a lot of news and talks and rumors that we're waiting for transports to lead the way. So basically, Long Beach being unlocked. We have to keep an eye on financials though, so it may do something. Financials may lead the way. I don't know if energy can continue to hold us up, considering crude's starting to get some pretty significant levels. Lending Club, EPS they beat by 5 cents. Revenue they beat by 22 million. Sees quarter one total revenue at about 260. There it is, 255 to 265 million versus estimate $500 million. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we did good, but the beginning of this year we're gonna suck wind. Forward guiding 2022 revenue at 1.1 billion versus 1.16. Shares are down now 13% on that news. Yes, sir. Broke out of everything we should know by now. Monthly mid fails, so if it fails 17, it becomes a $7 stock again, right? There's just nothing. This is dead air. There's nothing in here to hold us up, right? This line that you see right here is the monthly mid, monthly Keltner channel mid. Come on now. What the heck? Monthly Keltner channel mid, monthly Keltner channel bottom. So from 1692 to 711, there's nothing there to help us. I can go back all the way to January and April, right, where this gamma squeeze took place. I remember this one. March 2020, gamma squeeze took place. Helped it out. All right, moving on. Marathon Petroleum is evaluating a conversion of Phillips 66's PSX, right, Alliance Refinery in Louisiana, into a renewable fuel plant. Ew. MPC. Right? Anything in this energy sector has just been doing really good over the last couple weeks. Looking at some chop, maybe a potential woo forming there. 1, 2, 3, 4 all-time high. MPC might be a good one to keep an eye on. MRO raises their dividend by 17%. Anything in energy is just doing great, which is surprising because I thought that with our current leadership, energy was going to suck. My bad. All right, moving on. Las Vegas Sands, remember from the weekend watch list, I told you they had earnings this week, so just be careful. Well, if you would have taken this play when I had alerted it at the beginning of the week, right, just here, you'd be up, $5. I said, watch what happens when it runs into this 200. This sucker, I think, might be our peg stock for the week. Ooh, that's brutal. That is brutal, but that is the power of the 15s. 15 bottom, 15 top. In chop cycles, the 15s is your friend. 2-minute chart, 15-minute Keltners, okay? 2-minute chart, 15-minute Keltners. From the bottom to the top. Now we're here. From the bottom to the mid, or from the top to the mid. Make a decision. Mid to bottom, bottom mid, mid to bottom, mid to top. Yeah, it's ping pong ball on the 15s. Okay, little hint there. And Tesseract with their earnings. Tesla with the earnings. Tesla Q4 estimates 2.54 versus 2.26, so they beat on EPS, earnings per share. Q4 revenues at 17.72 billion versus 16.64 billion, so they beat on revenues. Making progress on the making progress on the industrialization of Cybertruck, which is currently planned for Austin production after Model Y. Q4 end cash and cash equivalents increased sequentially by 1.5 billion to 17.6 billion in Q4. What the what? Oh, you want to know why? Oh boy, sold his shares. Let me repeat that. Q4 end cash and cash equivalents increased sequentially by 1.5 billion to 17.6 billion in Q4. Everything that I just read about Tesla news is good, right? Good earnings, good EPS, everything is good. Well, what happened here? Where's that 100-point difference, right? Talked about market manipulation. Okay, with Tesla. For our mid daily bottom breakout, above that, right, which is above the 21, we hit monthly top cloud, right? We got that cloud that we can fight up. So 958. I don't know what this white line is, but I would say 4-hour mid Monthly cloud, take profit. Weekly mid, take profit. 4-hour top, take profit. We're still below the 50, right? I have no clue where the 200, well, we're above the 200, but that 50 is curling over. That's not so bueno. Okay, we need that 50 to, we got to cross above the 50. So basically out of the monthly bottom, above 1050 to 1150. Move. Dude, Tesla's going to be so much fun to play. But it's a little sketchy, right? Imagine buying call or buying puts here just to have them give it all back, right? So Tesla is super chop fest. But they had good earnings. Slingshot squeeze, double red. Just patience, my friends. Patience. All right, earnings after the close today. Apple has earnings today. Robinhood has earnings today. MasterCard has earnings today. I'm interested in that one. Right. MDLZ, which is one we used to trade. Mondelez International. Visa has earnings today. Whoop-de-whoop. Western Digital and X. Okay. Lots of earnings before the bell. Tomorrow's really the earnings, like Apple earnings are what I'm interested in, right? And Juniper, JNPR. That used to be a fun one to trade. But it's not anymore. All right. Oh, you know what else had earnings today? Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines came in, reported 14%, 14-cent earnings per share, right? Versus the estimated 7 cents, reported 5.05 billion versus 4.96. Pretty decent for Southwest, but the market itself is in chop fest. Chop fest. Okay. QQQ is coming up on 348 from the low at 338. QQQ regained 20 points overnight. Ooh, that's sketchy. All right, my neck is hurt. I'm sorry. We do have news that it's going to affect the market today. Let me show you what those events are. Here we go. GDP. This is all at 8:30. So in about 30 minutes, GDP is going to come out, right? Forecast previous was 2.3%. They're forecasting a 5.3% GDP quarter over quarter. We'll see. Unemployment claims, durable good orders, and price index. The other one would be pending home sales. That's at 10 o'clock Eastern. So they did not raise the rates. Crude inventory is up. Rates are the same. CPI is neutral. Jeez. So let's look at this, right? 2015, the Fed started stepping in and like, let's go. You know, June of 2019, they started not. It's crazy. 2.5% down to, now this is the interest rate, right? Let's go. What's crazy? What, am I missing something? I swear there was some more news. Guess not. Ooh, 1 o'clock here. At 1 p.m. Eastern, the U.S. is to sell 53 billion in 7-year notes. I don't know what the 7-year note is, but they're gonna sell 53 billion of those at 1 p.m. Eastern. Might want to just check out what happens at 1 p.m. and see how that affects the market. All right, let's go with the news. All right. Much better picture for U.S. futures than late last night, as the S&P is little changed around 43.40, a strong rebound off overnight lows of 42.63, falling as much as 1.6% and taking out Tuesday night lows at 42.76. It looked like an ugly start to the day, with U.S. futures adding to a late day tumble Wednesday as the path of higher interest rates and an unclear message from the Fed weighed in on investors' while earnings guidance disappointments from a handful of companies amid constant warnings of worsening supply constraints are taking a toll on sentiment. Treasury yields hit overnight highs above 1.86%, but has since pulled back to 1.83%, still much higher than the prior day lows. In geopolitical news, the U.S. said it had set out a diplomatic path with Russia as the country held security talks with Western countries. The dollar spiked to an 18-month high just shy of 97 level. The euro falls below 1.12, adding to the late day surge Wednesday after the Fed Reserve said it is likely to raise U.S. interest rates in March as expected and later launch a significant reduction in its assets holdings. Okay, oil prices edged higher, gold slips, Bitcoin's moderately higher, and data in U.S. fourth quarter GDP, weekly jobless claims in December, durable goods are due to be published today, and in earnings, Tesla and Intel lower after results with Apple tonight. Yes, sir. Fed Powell said yesterday during his press conference that the U.S. Central Bank will be open-minded as it adjusts monetary policy to keep persistent high inflation from becoming entrenched. The overall commentary was not well received by Wall Street, which hoped the Fed would be slightly less hawkish than in recent weeks, but that was not the case. In an Asian market, the Nikkei index tumbled over 800 points. Bay stopped falling down. That's 3.1%. That's a huge drop. Really. Hang Seng down 1.6, Shanghai down 1.78, Hang Seng down 2%, and in Europe, the DAX is down 0.5%, while the FTSE 100 rises 30 points to move back above 7,500. That's sketchy AF. All right. So let's talk shop for a second. Not Shopify, but shop for a second. This is my 30-minute chart. This is yesterday's move, right? Rally, rejection. We did not test the 382, and we barely got into this demand zone before we rejected, right? Quick recovery overnight. We're starting to get some fight between, see how spread out these two moving averages are right here, like these three. It was a clearly defined move. Now we're starting to get a little fight coming back, right? The 50 is starting to fight the 200 for control. Pretty decent move so far, and with that 21 leading the way, ES looks pretty decent for a move. All right, we're gonna look at ES for that move. 15-minute chart. Let's go with 5. All right, the lower time frames we go to try to find good news on on the ES or the NQ, the worse the market is. Nice cup and handle being formed here. We've got some highs that we need to take out. We're in a micro supply zone now, right? We are in a micro supply zone that runs about 20 points or so. The key level I'll be looking at is 4370, or whatever this stupid line is right here. I can't remember what they're called, but 4370 is pretty psychological, so is 4376.50. So I need to change this to something more that I like. Go with the perps. purple. Let's go. All right, so I mean, there's a little range right in here, right, that we're in right now. But so far things look good, right? We do have finally got some stack positive moving averages, right? 2150, 200. That's on the 5-minute. As we go up though, right, that fight needs to continue to happen. We're looking at the 10-minute. They should still be stack positive if they're going to show up. Gotta load that data. There we go. Stack positive. 195-minute chart. We start getting a little sketchy, right? We're still negative on those. Big old rally to the 21 yesterday. Pulled back. We have overtaken rally to the 50. We've overtaken the 21, and we're looking to overtake this. What kind of move is that? 1, 2, 3. Or is this going to be a 1, 2? So these are 3 green bars in a row. Maybe a little pullback, right? A little pullback. Was it this one? We're just like right in a micro supply zone, right? Good. So we're 195-minute chart, looking to overtake the 50. If we can get above the 50, right, then we can start looking at retesting the 618 retracement, 50% in 382. Intraday, I mean, this is a pretty decent move here. Like if this plays out, it should be good. I think I nailed that one pretty accurately. Or 30-minute chart. Yeah, that might be the move. I like it to slow down a little bit so that we don't give up the ghost, like give it all up pre-market and have a gap faded at the bell. But that is your ES review. Let's get into the NQ. And no, I did not get all these indicators moved over to the other charts. I haven't had time. Sorry. All right, a fight. Like, oh yay, we can breathe again. Nope, we rejected. I have to check on my dog. So, what to make of this? All I know is that this is a pretty significant level. 14.351, 14.336, 14.387, right? There's just a lot going on right here that I think if we can clear, right, with some conviction, like we did over here, right? Pretty decent little trading zone there. All right. On a daily, from a daily perspective, here we go. All right, so we had the pullback, right? We had another one, we had the rip up, and then today is going to be retesting these levels here. Previous low, which is now resistance. Well, the good news is that we did retrace a little bit off of this 382, right? Unless we get 1, 2, 3 bar up, and then the next downside move like this one, down, 1, 2, 3 bar up, down. Are you sure you want to go down? Yes, we want to go all the way down, right? 3 bar up, back test, 3 bar up, back test, right? 5 bar back test. So that's the NQ, and then let's look at the Dow. Unfortunately, the old Dow, which I thought was going to make a better move than it did yesterday, really made me look like an idiot. Super choppa-fest, right? I mean, it's all choppy right now. Down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It's going to be the ugliest reversal I've ever seen, but we have made a higher low and a higher high. So typically that's pretty decent, but we fell so hard so quick that the 21 is still it's still out of reach esque, right? We're currently trading at the 34,122 level, trying to make up to 34,939. That's an 800 point move in the Dow. That would be pretty gnarly rally. Okay, I don't think there's enough confidence in the market to support that though. Looking at the Russell. Well, the Russell has made a slightly higher low. I mean, slightly, like pennies. I don't even think I can. 19,255. 1926. That's just too close. So currently though, let's check this out. All right, fell off, rallied up, pulled back. Wu-Tang reversal potential. Let's watch small caps today. I think they might have a chance to make a pretty decent move. I still don't have a good small caps list. ETFDB. What is in Russell? Nothing, huh? The Russell 1000? Is it the 1,000 or the 2,000? I always forget. It's the 2,000. Sorry, my bad. All right, IWM. Should we look at IWM? Let's see what we got in IWM. I know that at one point AMC was one of their highest, was like one of the highest holdings, highest percentage holdings, right? And they've swapped it up, which is pretty decent. AMC at one point was the top. OVV, Macy's, AMC, BJ, THC. I'm not seeing anything in here that gives me confidence. So OVV, Macy's, and AMC, right? OVV. Are you down with OVV? Yeah, OVV. All right, pretty decent move to the day. Macy's coming in with pretty decent move so far. Ooh, I like that. So monthly top, daily bottom, 4-hour bottom, move above the mid, 4-hour top, 50-day rejection, pull back, 34 held for support, 1321.34. So that's stack positive above the 200, below the 50, at chilling at the monthly cloud top. Here we go. Here we go. So do we get a move up? So 50-day retest, 2750, right? 2750. Pretty big move. That's a real big move. Hold on. Yeah, that's a big old move. Looks like 26 is the psychological level. Lots of squeeze action happening here. Which way does it pop out? Does it come back test the 4-hour mid? If that's the case, one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to break it and come back down to the 4-hour bottom, or it's going to bounce and go back up 4-hour top. Safe move. Set an alert for Macy's above 2750. AMC, wiki wacky wiki. Wick whack wiki whack. I'd say AMC is only $15. YOLO. Where's the Ooga Booga apes at? You know, I'm sorry, y'all. Do you seriously haven't looked at AMC in months, as you can tell? What happened? The 5200 Death Cross? Couldn't be, could it? Jeez. Louise. So, wow, dude. I remember owning it back in here. Something I had like the 850 calls for January 2021. What do they do? That's crazy. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, I'm just blown away, to be honest with you. I haven't paid attention to AMC in a long time. But you see how these two orange, right? So you got the mean stocks. 65% of all stocks trading between that one deviation from this zero line, this regression line. And then you've got two standard deviations, like 95% or 90% of all stocks trade within that. And then this 3 would be these two blue lines, which 95% of all transactions occur in between there, right? That is so wild. All right, knowing that, what we just looked at, we came down, we broke below one standard deviation. We actually went a little bit outside of it. We're looking to fight to get back in here. So AMC above 1925 for some quick moves back up towards 28, right? That should be the next cycle, right? We came down, we kissed one standard deviation, we retraced to the mid, grinded down. Wow, poor little AMC. So let's watch your small caps today, shall we? Okay. I want to watch RTY small caps IWM AMC Macy's. Okay. That's sketchy. On the 4-hour, again, nice recovery, pre-market. One, right? Let's just hope it doesn't fizzle out, like it doesn't make its move for now. And we're just stuck holding and hoping all day. Nice little cup and handle right there. Resistance is no joke. It's no joke. All right. I gotta wake up my chicken heads. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break, and then we will get into the requests. If you have them, start getting those ready for me now. Checker. Yay. I think I got all my sound system stuff worked out too. I've just decided I'm just gonna have to buy a Windows PC. All there is to it. I can't trade on this Mac using Thinkorswim. It just doesn't work. I've got a pretty decent Mac too, so right, it's not, let's see. Right, 3.5 gig quad i5, 64 gigs of RAM, and a 4 gig graphics card, but I still can't trade using Thinkorswim. Unfortunately, that sucks. And then as far as gold is concerned, right, it's just downtrending. So gold is down, crude is down, bonds are slowly rising, and in the end it's down. So with our thesis of the bottom row down, I think we might get a little bit of bounce recovery today, right? That was a big drop yesterday, and that spooked a lot of people, right? Pre-market move overnight. This is our pre-market move. There's your roadmap, right? 4,400, pretty decent level. Check out the QQQ. Check this out. Hold on. Just got one of those QQQ ghost candles right there, like we had with the ES the other day. And we had a great day when we had that. So it just took out this candle right here, just took out all the stops. Right? Everybody that had a stop below the 15 bottom, just took them all out. They're like, nope, we're taking your money. Right? If you're in a long position, now you're no longer in that long. So yeah, look at that. Dude, it took all of them out. Jeez. I gotta let the group know about. Okay. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Oh wait, hold on. You wanted to look at gold, huh? Gold, gold, gold. So I drew this before I went and woke up my daughter. It looks as if though it's trying to, looks like a little bit of a wedge forming. Up cycle, down cycle, up cycle. We're in a down cycle now. This is a daily. So I would be tempted to draw trend line, right? So 2 down days in gold, followed by today, which may be an up day. Looking at it on the 4-hour, right? Bringing it down to the 195 minute, 78 minute. Little tweezer bottom there. So whatever happens on this next, was it a 15-minute candle? Yeah. Fall off, retest, higher low. Nope, that's a tweezer. Yeah, it's gold is really trying to say that this down cycle is done and it's going to be an up cycle today. I still haven't done my crypto charts. I'm sorry. I apologize. But that was a lower low, so gold may have a down day today. It broke that trend line support and it is downtrending. So that's going to equate to some larger moves, right? Maybe it's gonna be tough. So give it the next like 20 minutes to see, but it looks like it's trying to move down. Next support I have for gold is here at right at 18,000 or 1,800. Did you go long on gold? Watch list. All right, let's get out of this. Make these the 3. Reset everything. I'm gonna go on the 5s on this just so that we can see. Yeah, pretty decent move. So we need a little bit of a fade coming in here soon so that we can get that rip at the open instead of a pop lock and drop it. QQQ is struggling with 348 right now, so that 348 level, right? All right, so 4-hour mid 352, 357, 358. QQQ long above 350. That's tough. So we're in the weekly bottom cloud, so we can fight our way through this pretty easily. Let's look at right. So this 30-minute channel, 4-hour bottom, 4-hour mid, weekly is like we're in the weekly cloud. ATR of what, 350 a day? I think it moves more than that, but I mean, it's so choppy, dude. Where's the monthly mid? Oh, we're down below the dailies. All right. If we can get above the 4-hour mid, I think we hit weekly top 355 QQQ. Above that, rejection 360. On our way up to 365, right? If we reject the 4-hour mid and break the weekly bottom cloud, we have a downside move to 335, and that would still make a higher low than back on the 24th. Okay, this little, yeah, it's pretty easy to see there. So if we can overtake 350, 355, from 355, 359, fight 359 to 360. So there's a fight from 360 to 365, but that would be the cycle. So for our bottom, for our mid rejection, for our bottom, weekly bottom, double tap the weekly bottom. If we can't get up in here and close in the weekly cloud, then we come back for our bottom. Okay. On the 30-minute, we've got nice high compression slingshot squeeze getting ready to happen. Ready and fire is going to fire off to the long side. More than likely, mid compression, mid thrust fire. Yeah, one of those terms. Looking good though. QQQ's looking pretty decent. All right, look at that squeeze. Get a little squeeze getting ready to release. If you don't know what happens when that squeeze releases, where's our moving averages? 30 minutes. So we've got some stack positive moving averages. This looks pretty good. Like I said, 355 would be my intraday target. Let's look at QQQ. 355s, shall we? What you're about to see is the predicted trades trade of the day. Predicted trades provides uncanny levels, option entry and exit levels. The mathematical, it's not an algorithm, it's more math. They've done some specific mathematics on options that give you the best option value entry price available. So basically, looking at an options chart, It's very similar to a price action. They're saying if you enter in this zone here, that's the best value for that option, right? That's probably the lowest it's going to be. It's like this support level. It's a retrace, it's a reversal level. But basically, if you enter the option between, X and Y, then it should be the best entry level. And here's your exit level. So with that being said, we're going to look at the QQQ 350 calls, or that, no, that can't be right. Ugh, options chain's so jacked on this. Let me pull up some options chain for you, and we'll look at, let's see, where can QQQ go today? It can go as low as 335. So there's 335 puts. Oh, that's next. What? Hold on. So typically they'll give us some strikes for, yeah, so we just skipped the 28th and the 31st. We went right to the 22nd. What are you doing? It's 350s. What did I say we can go as low as? As low as 335. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to build it ourselves. It doesn't make sense. Hold on. Let me find out. All right, let me find out on that. But basically, so for today, these options would expire tomorrow. So Friday play, the 335s, I like those at 64 to 75. Right, and then we can go as high as, like I said, if we can clear the 4-hour mid at 349, like the 355s, 355s here. All right, so that's the 355 call, and what did I say, the 335s? All right. 335. That's a big range. I mean, but it is what it is. You know what? I kind of like these 342s. Right? Yeah, let's do the 342s. That's kind of within our risk tolerance, a little bit better. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Predicted trades. There we go. Let me get this loaded up. That's my little options chart there. Trade of the day. All right, I'm gonna leave this. Where do I want to put this so it's not in the way? All right, well, we're just gonna have to give up one of the charts on FlowTrade. That's all there's to it. It's funny, that's the QQQ chart. Look at that bullish divergence on the 15-minute. Oh, it's glorious. All right, so check it out. This is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by who? FlowTrade. Okay, so this is the flow index algorithm. What they've done is they've created their own flow index that tracks all transactions from smart money, dark pool, block trades, hedge funds. Oh, he's blowing me up. And that flow index tracks transactions. They created it, and then it predicts what's going to happen with price action. So typically what we'll see, just screenshot that so I can get out of the way. All right, thanks. Okay. Don't put it in front of your big old head. All right, so the flow index tracks those transactions. So when we have smart money trading with price action, then we're going to see a flow index like this. Well, what happens is I keep doing that. Smart money cannot just jump into a position. They can't drop billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars in all at one time. What would happen is it would suck all the liquidity out of price action and cause a quick pop followed by a very significant drop, and they would actually be in here when price is in down here. So what they do is they scale into positions, right? And they scale in and they scale out. So for example, with this QQQ trade over the last 2 days, see the massive amount of regular blocks and dark pools all the way up. This isn't a great example of divergence, but what it does show is how the flow index trading with price can say, hey, I want to continue buying into this, right? So the flow index is still buying into this as price is coming down. So they've set their mark that, anywhere from 340 to 350 is a good value, knowing that they're going to scale out when they get 380, 390, okay? So at this point, we have bullish divergence pretty much across the board. It's so new that it will continue to pull price action up with it. Okay, so we've got regular block support levels at 342, a dark pool final stand at 340, but there's a variety of dark pool levels from 350 to 353. Massive amount of resistance on the way back up, unless all of those orders have already been filled, which by these white dots I don't believe they have. So we're going to look at the 1 minute chart here, and you can see that divergence way better, right? You can see it way better when I pull up this 1 minute chart, right? As a matter of fact, they've even highlighted where that divergence has occurred. So the flow index on the 1 minute chart is, what did I do? Did I find a new? Oh, sweet. So the flow index is making higher lows and higher highs. So smart money started getting into this position back here with all of these orders, right? Well, they may not all get filled, right? Because as those buy orders come in, people start seeing, oh, there's buyers coming in, buyers coming in, buyers coming in. Well, the flow index is continuing to buy in. Um, so there's a bunch of divergence that's occurred, right? This is the most recent divergence that's occurred, which is highlighted by this green area here. All these little white dots right here are orders that have not, I believe they're orders that have not been filled yet, right? So lots of little white dots, and there's no way that this 1 bar price action can fill, all of these orders at once. So it's got to kind of consolidate around there for a little bit. We've got that divergence that's occurred. Ooh, I'm not 100% on how to read these divergences, but I'm assuming there's a divergence that this is all diverged, right? Meaning that price is selling off, smart money's buying into it. All right, so the QQQ algo is, or the flow index has still made higher highs and higher lows. Price action is making the woo. We got the 1, 2, 3, right, reversal. We have a 1, 2, 3. We didn't really get one here, but there's definitely one shaping up in this area. So you can see price trading, right? Price is selling off. The flow index is buying in. Divergence occurred at this level here, right? And I would say it's traded out here, right? When all of these transactions have been filled. Now, price, does it make sense? So price heading this way. Price is heading down like this. The flow index is heading up like this. That gives us divergence, right? This divergence has occurred approximately this level here. So all that divergence is traded out, and now we're looking for the flow index to continue to pull price action up with it. So that there's a pretty key level here, 346, right? We get above that, we start trading into this new zone here. This is a zone that runs 346 to 348. And then there's another zone that runs 351 to 355. Okay. Lots of block trades. Okay. Lots of, there's a white line level, which means that there's a regular and a dark pull that are printed pretty much on top of each other, as you can see here at this 350.60. So you have dark pull 350.60, regular block. I can't even show it. Dark pull at 350.49, regular block. So since it won't let me show those, we call those white line areas. And in a previous version, we were able to nice. We were able to show those key levels using a color scheme that we had come up with. Unfortunately, these colors, it doesn't look like these colors are holding. But we can give it a shot. So this is the 1 minute chart. This is the flow index. It has diverged. A lot of regular block trades at 342.76, 342.99, and 343.75. So that's your support. Dark pulls coming in at 344, 345, and 350.52. Okay. So what we'd like to see happen is price continue to follow its uptrend a little bit. I would say this might be a wedge, right? Looks like a little wedge. Until it breaks out of it, it will continue to move up and down and up and down and up and down until it gets so tight it's got to pop one direction or the other. Okay, as long as the flow index is still continuing to make higher lows and higher highs, right, and it's taking out its previous highs, it should pull price action up with us. Now, keep in mind we have some dark pull trades here. That 350.60 is first upside target. We're going to use this massive amount of support that's been created at 344.57, right, as our support level. See all those block trades, right? Those dark pools here. Those look like buy orders since when they came in, the flow index was uptrending. Okay. We have a white line level that we're going to use as right here. Hold on. Right, that's our base. 343.10 is support. 344 is the regular block trade support. 344.50 is dark pool support. You know, like I said, we can do one of these up and down and up and up, down and up and down until we finally make a decision if we're gonna fail and retest 343. Remember, like I said, I've got that 342 put. Remember our play, 342 put, right? Or the 355 call. That 355 may be a little out of reach. So the 350s look like. No, we're gonna do 355 because we're opening at around 350, right? So right smack dab in the middle. All right. So now that you understand it, I'm gonna get into your plays. We're gonna look at Tesla. I made that flow index a little too big, didn't I? Just a little bit. Three seems to be a good level. Okay, we're gonna look at Tesla, United Healthcare, Cat, and Roku. All right, I will be right back in 1 second. Hold, please. What I told you to do. All right, sorry. All right, so I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, and we should be able to see what's going on. I'm going to start with Tesla. So Tesla, as you can see, they did have earnings. The flow index is currently making lower lows and lower highs. So if that does turn around, well, it looks like it's starting to make some moves to the upside. So obviously, nice little bull flag going on here. If Tesla can break out of that bull flag, it's got a regular block trade at 952. It's a target. Dark pull support at 921, 918, and then finally 914. So if it breaks to the downside, target those dark pull levels to the downside. Flow index just trading with price action, not really going to give us a clue as to what's going on. United Healthcare, we've got that bullish divergence that we do like to see. Not super diverged, but the flow index is breaking out of its overhead resistance and starting to make a series of higher highs and higher lows, as you can see here, right? Price action is starting to follow suit, and it's using basing off this regular block trade at 456.84. Looks like there's some longer term, wedge resistance. So really pay attention to what happens at 463, 465, but it looks like it might continue to pull price action up with it. Okay, filled the gap, pulled back. It's got some trendline support here. There's a dark pull down at 449.19 that came in on the 24th after the close. That came in here, and price gapped up over it, pulled back, filled it again, right? Looks like that's been completed, and this regular block came in on the 25th after the close. So it came in Wednesday after the close, and looks like it was a bunch of buy orders as well. Ran into resistance. Excuse me, that was probably a sell order. 25th. Yeah, that looks like it was a buy order coming in. But yeah, UNH, pretty decent looking moves setting up for that. Okay, CAT. All right, so Caterpillar, this looks really strong, right? Algo, or the flow index, is looks like there's a longer term, right? That's a big long-term wedge. Flow index is making higher lows and higher highs, and is continuing to move to the upside. I think it can pull price action up with it. There's a dark pool that came in on the 25th after the close. That looks like it was a fill or buy order. It came up, hit overhead rejection. Previous resistance levels here. There's a zone basically right here it wants to trade in. Came back down, found somewhat of is that gap filled? Gap filled. This dark pool level right here has probably been filled already because it came in on the 24th, and there's a lot of consolidation around it. So buy order came up, a little sell order. I thought he came back in. All right, so yeah, so Caterpillar above 215. I think we start getting a move to more highs because the flow index is buying into it, right? They're buying into that. Roku, Roku. All right, or Roku. Let me put this on a 15-minute chart. All right, Roku, trading with price action. It's made a higher low, but look at this, right? Pretty significant overhead resistance. Yeah, it's trading 1-to-1, and it's currently trading below price action. So maybe we get a short-term pullback, back down to 143, 140. If it breaks 140, then we have to look at the downside on it. Okay. All right. AMAT, and then I've got to run. So AMAT's got some divergence. It looks like it's played out. Trading with price action. Oh, what's this? Oh, did it? Yeah, I don't know what that was all about there. So bullish divergence played out. The algo is trying to make higher lows and higher highs, but it's got to take out some of its previous resistance. Got a dark pull level at 135.58. That's the most recent one. If that's a buy order, let's see, that came in on the 26th at 1700. All right, so this came in after close. If that's a buy order, then you can see a move from 135 to 140, possibly 143, If it's a sell order, then we're going to look at taking out 132 and 130. Okay. And then Intel is the last one that I'm going to be able to do today. We've got, so it did have earnings. The flow index is taking profit on it after it had some pretty decent earnings. Right? Come on. Yeah, Intel doesn't like it. So just know that we've got blocks at 51, 38, 53, and 63. 51, 38, 51, 53, and 51, 69. They're taking profit. So if they break 51, 50 is incoming. They've been taking profits for quite a while, and it's been pulling price with it. Okay, on the 1 minute chart, it's probably a little better representation, right, of that bearish divergence. Okay, so that divergence at 51 is your downside target, right? So take profit on the way down. All right. I gotta wrap it up early. I'm sorry. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dartpool Algo. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Watch out for Twitter and Laz. Hit me up. Message me in Slack or in Discord for whatever you need me to look at. Once again, QQQ 342 put at $1 to $1.05 or 93 to 104. This is sponsored by Predicted Trades. PredictedTrades.com, 10% off using Dartpool and the 355 call anywhere from $1 to $1.72. So have a great day.